Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Super Jesus Jackson channel. Thanks for stopping by. Months and months ago, a while ago, some of you might have seen a video I did taking a look at the special edition steelbook of Her, the movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I unboxed the special edition. It wasn't the best video because, you know, the lighting I think was terrible. I was still getting the hang of sort of doing that type of video because, as you know, this is not my primary format of doing videos. But, you know, after a while, I had the itch of doing a similar one like that again. And so here I am, doing this. This time, we're doing it for the special edition of We Live in Time. This was a movie that came out earlier this year, recently really. It's a romance movie starring Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. It's an A24 film, and it's a romance that spans decades in the movie. And A24 released this beautiful edition. It's a special edition, I guess, in the sense of, like, you know, it's a little bit more expensive than your typical Blu-ray. And it obviously the packaging is a little bit more involved. It's not just your typical Blu-ray, right? But this movie right here, you know, I loved watching it in the theaters, and I don't think it got the recognition or attention it deserved. I wish it got a little bit more attention because it is a beautiful film. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's sad, it's serious. You know, it's an amalgamation of our life. You know, like, I mean, it's very relatable to our life in the sense that our life has a lot of those moments, right? And the title, of course, of the movie, We Live in Time, because the movie takes place in different points, kind of all over the place, and you kind of have to piece things together, which is interesting. It's not your conventional, Jesus Christ, it's not your conventional movie in that sense. So very interesting, not your typical, you know, it doesn't really start from beginning to end, like it just kind of bounces around a bit here and there in terms of time. Yeah, I love this packaging. This A24 style barcode thing is very interesting. Yeah, we have Almut, that's the Florence Pugh character, Tobias, brought together in a surprise encounter that changes their lives. And then eventually the movie gets even more serious. Sorry about the sound, guys. I live in a kind of a busy street here, but anyways. Let's take a look. I think this is the poster of the movie, but I kind of do these videos. This is my second one doing, but I like to do these videos because I appreciate packaging. I appreciate the physical packaging of the movie. It is one of my favorite things. It's actually more. It's more of my favorite. Like, I love the packaging of movies more than I do like any other form of physical media. And really it's mainly because people try with movies. You know, like CDs, people try with vinyls, but you know, like I don't really care too much about the vinyl format. But CDs, you know, people don't care about CDs anymore. And video games used to have great packaging, and now, unless you buy the special editions, it's really kind of pointless. So movies, still getting some decent support, you know, with some cool packaging here. But this right here is a wraparound image there of a scene in the movie. It's a kitchen scene. I think it's one of the most. I think it's an earlier scene in the movie. I'm not sure, but I love this wraparound art here in the kitchen. Just again, very basic areas, you know, where couples convene, right, which is the kitchen. Florence Pugh's character is a chef. Andrew Garfield's character is, I think, a photographer. I'm not sure. I think he's like I don't know. I actually don't remember that much. I'm not very good with details, but trust me, the film's great. Anyways, we open it here. We have another pivotal scene in the movie. We have the disc, We Live in Time. And this is a pivotal scene in the movie where they meet. This is how they meet. She ends up running him over, which is interesting. That's how they meet, and after that, they sort of, have a chemistry. So I think it's very interesting, right? I think this film is, like I said, it's funny, it's dramatic, it's serious, it's romantic, but it's not your typical romance movie. I think it's very serious, very honest, very genuine. It is not, your very cheesy Hallmark type of movie. It's a very serious romance movie, and it takes itself seriously. So that is, I think, one of the best things ever, while also being lighthearted and emotional and, having all those things that you expect from a rom-com or a dramedy or a rom-drom-com, whatever the hell you want to call it. But here we have, if we open up this part of the movie, we have these sort of art cards. Very, very beautiful here from scenes in the movie. I don't know if you can read it, but whether we like it or not, the clock is ticking. There it is. Very, the logo of the movie, of course. Let me put this disc back before it starts getting some dust. The logo of the movie, of course, has a very, let me bring this, kind of a space, like we live in time, there's space, and there's space between the letters. Very alien-like, but yet it's also very human, very interesting. But the art cards here, they sort of have that same style with the words having space in between, which is very interesting. That's a scene in the movie where they're getting coffee. We live in time. And yeah, if you can recall, I think that's the outfit that they have before they head into the kitchen and kiss. But here we have a scene in the movie where Andrew Garfield's character and Florence Pugh are sort of, I think this is after they had a really good date. Very, iconic, iconic scene kind of in the movie, but also, I guess iconic is sort of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean? I mean, it's a very effective scene. It's a thing that happens a lot in romance movies and movies where there is love. But it's also very realistic, It is an example of two people, who are still in the separate part of the relationship, right? They're not together yet completely, but they're on their parts of their life after they've just had a date or a gathering or whatever, and they're thinking about the other person, and they are falling in love, even though they still have this barrier because they're not boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but it's getting there, and they're thinking about each other. There's a very distinct and real possibility I'm about to fall in love with you. Yeah, so perfect dialogue to use for this imagery, as I was saying, right? It is the scene right before they fall in love, essentially, right? Or as they're falling in love. So, here she is. I don't recall what part of the movie this is. There's going to be spoilers potentially. But also probably not. I probably shouldn't spoil the movie. But there might be spoilers. If there is, I'll announce it. But what does it say? I can't bear the thought of being forgotten. That is fuck it, I guess I might spoil something. I think the back of the movie even tells you a little bit. It sort of hints at an event that happens in the movie that sort of halts the evolution of their relationship. Whether it's temporary or permanent, I'm going to leave that up to you. But this quote right here is a quote from Florence Pugh's character. She is a person that's very stubborn, very. She's a person that wants to achieve a lot in her life, and she's very driven, very ambitious. And the idea that something would stop her from doing that, including a relationship, is not cool with her. And I related a lot to this character. It's a very relatable feeling to me. You know, the idea of legacy, the idea of doing things because you want to be remembered, because you want to make an impact to the world, and that is one of her dilemmas. And yeah, it's very effective and beautiful. This scene right here is very pretty. I love this scene. You know, again, this movie loves to portray the basic moments of a couple, of a relationship, right? You know, they're getting coffee, they're in the kitchen, they're in the bathtub here, you know, just very, very human moments. And I think that's another one of the reasons, you know, it's why I call this movie so genuine and so honest, you know. It's not illustrious, it's not extravagant, it's not, you know, your typical rom-com in that sense. It's very human. What is it? What's the rush? The space there between the letters there and the words. Yeah. And that quote is very interesting. And it's well used over this image because, as you can see, she's pregnant. And a character says, "What's the rush?" to the other character. You know, to have children. So very interesting. Here we have, is that too much? I think this is a scene where he kind of surprises her with something really beautiful. And he sort of, I think that's what he asks her. But just very typical, or very, you know, boring scene to some of you, you know, but it's all about the simplicity and about the humanness in this film. That's what it's about. So very, very beautiful little cards here. Then we have the We Live in Time. So I absolutely love this edition. That's all this edition has. Very simple, but very effective. Very minimalistic. Is that how it goes? Let's see. Is it how? Yes, it does. This is how it goes. I'm usually not very good at putting things back together. Oh, actually, I might be fucking it up. Is it how it goes? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's how it goes. It can't go like this. Jesus. Oh, did I miss one? I missed one. I missed the poster of the movie, basically. What does that say? I was guilty of looking ahead instead of right in front of me at you. I believe this is a dialogue in the movie that they have when, you know, they sort of had this little tiff, and the character realizes I was being kind of a jerk, you know, and you know, I need to appreciate what I have. I should appreciate the moment in time, the now, the here and now. It's not necessarily about the past, the future. It's about the here and now. And I think that's a very beautiful lesson to learn in life, right? Is about the now. You know, we always tend to be looking ahead. We're very ambitious, or we're worried about the future. We're trying to safeguard it. We're trying to better our past, you know, but we fail to just realize sometimes what we have right in front of us. And I think this image here, again, perfectly captures that, right? And also very interesting, I talked about it with my girlfriend. You know, this line right here, I was guilty of looking ahead instead of right in front of me, period, at you. Sometimes I think like, oh, what if they just eliminated... Sometimes I think, you know, what if they just eliminated the at you, you know? Because I feel like it's kind of redundant. I think the just ended at right in front of me. I think the audience can understand what they mean, and I think it's more powerful that way, right? But my girlfriend was then like, you know, well, the movie is about simplicity. It's about humanity. It's about just being human, you know, being, you know, don't think, it's not very extravagant. It's not very sophisticated, you know, I guess from on a surface level, right? And it's just about simple things. And looking at this edition and talking about it and talking about the simplicity of the movie, the genuineness of the movie, I think this line makes perfect sense. And it would be very redundant because humans are redundant. You know, That's what they do. So, very, very beautiful. I did miss one. Glad I did. Glad I got it. So let's put it back here. There we go. It slides perfectly. There we have it. We live in time. Very beautiful edition of the movie. Glad to have it. I always love these editions. You know, they're still very normal, right? But like they're still premium. You know, a little like better than normal, better than your typical edition, right? Like it still fits on your shelf. You know, fits normally, but you know, it's also special. I like it. These are kind of my favorite editions for movies. You know, they're also not incredibly expensive, and they're a little bit more interesting, a little bit more unique, right? They're not just your basic editions. And I also love the occasional, you know, like flaws that these paper editions will, or more cardboardy editions will have. Like, let me see if I can focus on it. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to focus on it. There it is. You can see like it's got a little bit of like a, you know, of a flaw right there, just from just taking it out and putting it back in. And same thing with this part right here. Yeah, right there. You see that? I kind of like it. It makes it unique, you know, just after times of taking it out, putting it back in, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, I love these editions. Like I said, they're more, you know, they're better than your average just Blu-ray edition, right? Who directed this movie? Director John Crowley. Interesting. And writer Nick Payne. Nick Payne. I feel like I know him. Not know him, but you know what I mean. Anyways. It's got a commentary too. That's be interesting to watch. But anyways, great film. Emotional, dramatic, funny, sad, deep, all those things. Yeah, just wanted to take a look at this. Let me know if you like this. I have tons of other movies that I could do this with. I love physical media, and I love, you know, the sound of it, and just kind of talking about the film while we take a look at the movie. I think it's kind of special. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have you seen this film? What do you think? Are you interested in getting this edition of the film? Do you hate the film? Do you not like this edition? Whatever is on your mind, let me know. Give this video a like if you like, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. But I think that's it for me. You all take care, stay safe, and until next time, I love you. We live in time.